This is the Jerusalem Post podcast travel edition. Coming up,
the miracle happening here and to make this Jewish oasis here. 5-star beachfront location with kosher food, with social Jewish life. It makes this location perfect.
I was asking one by one, like rabbi to the guest, okay, what should you do for Shabbat? We cannot use the electricity, we cannot use phones, everything we need, mechanical keys.
You can enjoy both the sea and the mountains. It's ideal settings for luxury tourism.
I choose from the catalog what we need, and I give it to the rabbi. Rabbi check if it's kosher. Everything but kosher, we're purchasing.
So sit back and enjoy the trip with David Harris and Mark Gordon. Morning, David.
We are headed to here's an interesting question about the pronunciation of the name of the country that we're going to. Is it Montenegro? I've heard it both ways.
I'm sure when we get there we can ask someone. Tomato.
Exactly. We're headed to the Adriatic coast. The Adriatic is the sea between the Balkan Peninsula, where Greece is at the bottom, and above it Albania and what used to be known as Yugoslavia. And on the left-hand side, if you're looking at the map, is Italy. We're going to be hopefully doing 2 podcasts from the town Budva, or the city of Budva. I think you'll probably find more of the history of the city and the country in the other podcast, because this time we are headed to the lap of luxury. At least that's what the brochure says.
And not just the lap of luxury.
Just outside Budva, a 20-minute walk, we're going to a private hotel and resort.
With a kosher restaurant.
Phenomenal.
And possibly even a synagogue.
So here's another question then. How do you pronounce the name of the hotel and resort?
Well, we could do it before we get there. I've seen it written down, and reading it written down, it says Dukley, but it could be Dukley, Dukley.
Here's a quiz question for you. I know we've got another quiz question coming up, but do you know why the hotel and resort is called Dukley?
Because originally Lee Marvin, the actor, had a fascination with ducks, so it was called Dukley.
Oh, dearie me. Do you actually know the reason?
No.
If I remember rightly, and if I get this wrong, you can correct us by writing in to markdavidpod@gmail.com or across social media @markdavidpod. If I understand rightly, at some point in history, the area that is known today as Montenegro, plus minus with a few extra bits thrown in, was divided into 3 kingdoms. One of those kingdoms was called something like Dukley. I don't know how you pronounce it. And so they took the name Dukley and they applied it to the hotel today in honour of this previous name of Montenegro way back when.
Fascinating. We'll find out more later in the podcast and in our other podcast all about Budva.
And now you're going to ask a quiz question.
A proper quiz question.
Because mine wasn't good enough.
Well, one which we might know the answer to.
Well, I knew the answer to that one, roughly.
Roughly? Okay, so we roughly know the question to this one.
Thank you to Rough Wikipedia.
The question?
Yes.
Which famous rabbi, controversially famous, is buried in Montenegro in the town of Ulcinj, or Ulcinj, or Ulcinj, or Ulcinj?
Ulcin.
Wikipedia had 4 different pronunciations. So, apologies to the people of Montenegro and the lovely people that are going to look after us. We will learn a little bit more while we're in Montenegro about how to pronounce things.
The answer to that particular quiz question at the end of the pod. You're listening to the Jerusalem Post podcast travel edition.
We are in the beautiful Italian city of Napoli.
We're in downtown Dubai.
We are at the Mountain Dew Synagogue in Baku.
We are in the magnificent city Krakow.
The Jerusalem Post podcast travel edition brings you the joys of travel and tourism. So why not subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts?
So we landed safely in Tivat Airport. The landing was staggeringly beautiful.
I couldn't see. I don't have a TV screen this time. Unlike previous trips to Panama, Sundor, you have a regular seat. So the front of my seat looked beautiful. But to my left and to my right, I could see us flying through mountains. I thought, this is a little low. But Apparently we were coming through a valley.
Water on both sides. We were landing at sunrise. It was just an amazing landing. We were picked up by a driver from the hotel and resort who brought us straight to reception.
Thank you, Dusan. From reception, we dropped our luggage off, jumped straight into a golf cart, and we were brought to this wonderful restaurant at the bottom of the hill.
It's time to tell you a little bit about where we are and why we are. We've come to the Dukley Resort on the edge of the beautiful seaside city of Budva. And the reason that we've come here is that, first of all, clearly on the basis of the 5 minutes that we've seen, it is a stunning destination, both in terms of the environment but also this resort. But in addition to 6 or 7 other restaurants in the hotel here, there is a kosher restaurant by the name of Shalom.
We will take you around the resort. We'll show you the facilities. David and I will make you very jealous while we lounge on a balcony overlooking the view. But you cannot start a trip to any hotel without filling your face. And the special thing about the Dukley Hotel is it has a kosher restaurant. It has a Jewish community centre. If you're looking to come away to Montenegro and you want to do it kosher, this is the place.
In fact, quite embarrassingly, whilst Mark and I have been stuffing our face, and we'll tell you what we've been eating for breakfast in a minute, but just the other side of the wall, there is Tefillat Shacharit. There is a morning prayer going on because this is the Jewish community centre, both for the visitors and for any Jewish people who happen to be living in these environs. More about the JCC and the work of the rabbis here in a moment. Let's talk about breakfast.
Well, obviously it was lovely because I finished my third plate. The best person to tell us about breakfast has got to be the executive chef, head chef? Chef. Don't stand on ceremony here.
The first thing I have to ask before we get on to who you are and all of those stories, where on earth did you get that blue cheese from? Because that blue cheese was outstanding.
We get orders from Europe, from France, England. We make special orders. It takes 2-3 months to arrive, but we make our best.
So now you have to introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Igal Kovriga. I'm from Bnei Brak in Israel. I'm working here as a chef and a restaurant manager, and we want to bring this restaurant to a level of a 5-star hotel like Israeli standards, from breakfast, lunch, dinner.
We walked into the restaurant. It's beautifully decorated. It's very light. The colours on the wall are very summery. And you sit here and it says Shalom Middle Eastern Cuisine. Why have we gone for the Middle East when we're out in the Balkans?
We say that when Israeli went to France and he went to the restaurant and he asked the waiter if he have a frog legs. So the waiter said yes. So say, please, you can jump to the kitchen and bring me a plate of hummus. Because we're a Jewish community, we want to share with our culture too. Because if you're going outside, you see everywhere Balkan food. We want that not only Jewish customers coming, we want local customers coming too and enjoy from our beautiful Israeli food and culture and nature.
We'll get back to the food in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about you. Who are you, Yigal?
I'm born in Ukraine, Chernovitz. I lived in Israel, Eilat, Arad, Tel Aviv, Kiryat Motzkin. I moved with my profession to different countries, different cities. I was chef in systems like Hyatt, Accor, Do & Co. I work a lot with religious population. I was the head chef of the legendary Adar Mall Sheraton City Tower, the banquet hall. I was chef of Uman, Shiner.
Just for people who don't know, if ever you see the pictures, particularly around Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, of tens of thousands of Jewish men going off to celebrate, to commemorate the life of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, who's buried in Uman, somebody has to prepare all that food for them.
The manager there is called Lezer Karlibar. He in charge on all the projects, and my job is to arrange all the food, all the project of the food, all the process. And hundreds of cooks coming all over the world each Rosh Hashanah, and they working almost a month before the Rosh Hashanah, and they prepare the food. They prepare the food all months, and they serve the food in 3 days.
How easy is it to prepare kosher food in Montenegro? Where do you source your ingredients and your kosher food from?
I said like this: the most biggest problem that you try to specify kosher food. It's not kosher food. It's a good recipe. You have a good recipe of salad. You have a good recipe of fish. So we're cooking by recipe. We don't want to complicate the mind of the guest. You get kosher food. You get a proper, nice, good food. If you order fish, we have a beautiful sea here. We have a local fish here, tuna fish, branzine, or they have like a local salmon fish, or meat. So they bring local meat.
Is the salmon a sea fish or a river fish?
The sea fish, it's local one. The river fish, it's from Norwegian or it's export. Same vegetables here, it's very good, very qualified vegetables. Of course, we understand few of them coming from Spain or something, but the major, we try to working with the local products because we want to make a big variety of dishes. And of course, some of the like spices, kosher spices, we bring from Israel and other countries.
How involved are you in sourcing the local? How much are people just your suppliers who bring the things to you, and how much do you go out and look for the best product?
I'm going out, I looking for products. It sounds funny when I'm going to buy myself something in the supermarket. I take a package and I turn around and I try to find the symbol of kosher, and you will find a lot of like this. And if I find something, I going to the rabbi, I show him. Only after he give me a promotion that this is good for our kosher, then I go to the supplier manager and we start to try to find who the supplier, how we can buy it, how we can bring it. And I make a list of products that we need. The local supplier, they bring catalogs. I choose from the catalog what we need. Again, I give it to the rabbi. Rabbi check if it's kosher. Everything but kosher, we're purchasing.
We've finished really wonderful breakfast, 5-star hotel standard, which is what you were aiming for. It was brilliant. What else is there to eat here? What's on the menu for dinner?
Now we have a lunch from 1 to 3, and we have a dinner from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. It's a buffet. In the next 2 weeks, we will open a la carte section. The a la carte, it's working non-stop, so you can come always to the restaurant, you're always welcome, you always have a menu, you can order. Only now you have a choice between a buffet, something cooked, because buffet it's long cooking. A la carte it's something short cooking, so it's two different way of food. So you have a possibility, like if you want nice hamburger, or if you want nice steak, or if you want nice schnitzel, this is a la carte. If you want cooked meat like 6-8 hours with sauce, this is you have in the buffet, so you have a better choice.
Are you open on Shabbat?
We have a guest in the hotel, and the hotel stay here all week, especially weekends. And we have a special settlement with a rabbi and special menu that is fit to the kosher system, same like in Israel in 5-star hotel. We have same. We have a Friday evening Shabbat dinner, gala dinner, very rich with a lot of courses, like 12-15 salads, meat, fish, desserts. Then we have in the morning the kiddush. People who come and pray. We make a small buffet with nice cakes, some cheese, some fish. That if somebody want to, because the lunch it's very early. It's like 12 o'clock. So to make breakfast at 10 and eat lunch, so we make like a small buffet if somebody want to eat something, and wait till 12. At 12 o'clock we have same. We have a Shabbat lunch, again with all the traditional chont and kigel and
a traditional Sephardi food.
It's okay. When I came here, first complaint that I had that why we don't have spices like schug and pepper. First thing I went to the supplier guy, tell him bring me 20 kilo of pepper. I made schug, I made darisa, I made chili pepper, matbucha, all the hot stuff. So we have it now permanently in the buffet, no problem. Because of this, I make even 2 types of fish. I make one oriental, more spicy fish, and I make one more European style, like.
You had me at Chulent and Kugel. It's ironic because we've come out of Israel to a Middle Eastern restaurant, And the food here is what I love, which is traditional European kugel and chulent.
We have a very, very large cultures. Of course, if you used to eat chili pepper, you will eat always chili pepper, but you can find 147 nationalities in each restaurant in Israel. This is what the beauty of our cuisine in Israel. We cannot say Israeli cuisine, it's like international cuisine, because each Jewish community brings something from homeland to Israel. They bring only the best, and we have almost the most rich kitchen in the world.
The ultimate fusion food. We're really looking forward to dining with you some more over the weekend. Thank you.
To talk the latest news in Israel, the Jewish world, and everything in between.
This is the J-Post Podcast. I'm Tamar Uriel Beery, Deputy Editor-in-Chief of the Jerusalem Post.
And I'm Tzvika Klein, Editor-in-Chief of the Jerusalem Post.
And I'm Sarah Ben-Nun, Night Editor at the Jerusalem Post. Join us as we bring some of the most impactful voices to bring you into what it means to be Jewish, to be Israeli today.
Every week, we bring you with us into the newsroom in every sense.
Stop being so dramatic. This is just our coffee break.
You can find us every Thursday on jpost.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll see you there.
Yalla, bye.
Hi, shalom, welcome. My name is Ari Edelcup. I'm the Rebbe Shaliach to Montenegro and the Chief Rabbi of Montenegro.
Hello, my name is Leizer Ehrenfeld. I'm the Rabbi, the Shliach in Budva, Montenegro. Welcome to the Jewish Center in Budva.
Wait, we're in a hotel. This is a 5-star luxury hotel. What is a Jewish community center doing in the middle of a 5-star luxury hotel?
A Jewish community center has to be a home, a mishpucha, a place where somebody feels welcomed. So yes, around this Jewish community center, all around us, there's 3 hotels. There's the villas, and there's the 5-star, and the Infinity, and the. But this is actually a separate place joined to the hotel. But I think this place gives it much more than a hotel. It makes for any Jewish person perfect location to come, where the soul can rest and body can rest. When somebody can come, go and enjoy his holiday here, and get both food for the soul, food for the body, and go back home re-energized with a lot of new strength and smiles.
You said about the body being caressed. We're next to the Harmonia Spa. So can we come and pray and then get a massage?
Wonderful question. You got to massage your soul a little. The soul needs massaging. The soul needs the massage. That's what we have 3 times a day. Shachrit, Mincha, Arvit, and Shabbat. Some people don't come every day. Some people come only for Shabbat. Some people don't come for Shabbat, come for the holidays. People want their soul massaged. When they come in, everybody's welcome. And nobody is asked which affiliation you're from, or what do you observe and what you don't observe. And they want to be hugged, and they just want to feel the home feeling, the place that you know. And some people even don't want to come at all to the synagogue. That's why we have the Jewish Community Center. We have different programs. We have cultural programs. We have concerts. We have lectures, and we have children programs and women events and different things for all people. By the way, not only Jewish people. We have a TED business lecture a few times a year. How to start business from scratch. People that relocated, people came from Ukraine, Russia, they ran away from the war. Because as a Jewish people, we have to help people be happier in life.
In case you hadn't already understood right at the start, we are talking to 2 emissaries or shlichim from the Chabad movement. And Chabad is this incredible organization that manages to get into all sorts of places and bring some Jewish soul and light and connection. Rav Eliezer, how do you actually get into a hotel? I mean, this is a fully functioning, to all extents and purposes, non-Jewish, however you want to define it, hotel. It's got restaurants next door that aren't kosher. As Mark said, there's spa facility. You name it, the Dukley is this fabulous hotel. How did you get Chabad and a Jewish community center into here?
Chabad is in every place in the world, also here in Dukley. So people come here, they're feeling very nice place. They have synagogue, they have kosher food, they have everything, and they can be more easy to make the vacation.
We have to talk about the hero behind this story as well. When we started the Jewish Community Center, first one many years ago, we never dreamt that in Budva we're going to have this Jewish Community Center here in the most prestigious, nicest place in Montenegro. This is the nicest resort. And though this man behind this endeavor is a very modest man, but we're sitting right in the synagogue here, and we have this nice little plaque, of memory of Tzila and Peter Himmelfarb. They passed away not too long ago. And when their son, Mr. Neil, came to me and says, Rabbi, I have an idea. I want to make the first Jewish community center here in Montenegro. And I told him, really? He says, yes. I want to make it just like, he grew up in the U.S. He saw that. He says, let's do that. He did not want his name there on the plaque. You don't see his name, but I says, you got to do it. Not your name, but your parents' name. Li'elu Nishmatam, in memory of their neshamas, making sure they're still alive through the good things that are happening in this place. And also, the other Yidden can see that this wonderful miracle that you see here in this beautiful resort, that you have this Jewish community center, synagogue, kosher restaurant, a home for many, this was donated by somebody very modest, somebody very sweet, but he's also the owner of Dukley Resorts, and he wanted it to be kosher. He wanted making sure that everybody is welcome here, and the Jewish center is open all year round, not only for visitors and tourists, but also for the local Jewish community. So I think his parents, Tzila and Peter, having a lot of nachas from this.
Hello.
Hello, we've been joined by an extra special guest.
What's your name?
Racheli.
Hello, Racheli.
That's Montenegrin for, please take that thing away from me. One of your titles is Chief Rabbi of Montenegro. How big is the community here, and how does it fit into the landscape?
The whole country is small, and the population of Montenegro is small. I think that's what makes it unique. And then the Jewish population here is also small. Because of the war, Russia-Ukraine, some more Jews came from those parts of the world to here. The fact we were able to host many of them, much more from Ukraine. Many of them left already, but a lot of Russian young people that didn't want to get drafted into the army came here. Many of them work online. Many of them started life anew here. Many of them are Jewish. Yes, we have some Israelis that left Israel, unfortunately, and moved here because of the war now in Israel. But we have Jewish people that came here in time of the Holocaust. Montenegro was one of the countries that were saving Jews in time of the Holocaust. After the war, there were 10 times more Jews here than before the war. We know these families that were saving Jews here. There's around 650 Jewish people living here scattered around the country. And obviously, we have a lot of tourists from Israel and from other places around the world. We have 5 to 7 flights a day.
Rabbi Eliezer, when visitors, tourists come to the Jewish Community Center of Budva in this hotel, what type of Jewish experience will they have here whilst having a tremendous vacation?
They have everything what they need. They have tefillin, they have drink, coffee, a lot of questions. Because we spoke Hebrew, they ask questions where they can go traveling. So I'm not working tourist office. So to eat for every Jew, Gashmis and Ruchnis, this is the mission and the life, and what I make every day. I and the Rabbanit.
People can go to the beach, to the pool, go to the spa center, they take a drive to Dubrovnik, go to the mountains, ski, or take a jet ski. But at the end of the day, Jewish people want the social life and meet new people from all over the world. We have guests from the UK and from America, and we have here people that now come from Israel, soldiers who just need a little bit of fresh air, and support one another. Support one another in these not easy times. So social Jewish life is very important. That's what synagogue is. Synagogue is not about praying. It's about praying as well. It's uniting people together. So you have this voice of a child passing by. Shabbat, you have children running around, and you have people singing Shabbat melodies till late hours of the night. We have not only kosher, but you have very good food on the highest level. The chef here prepares both for Ashkenazic and Sephardic, spicy, and for the Polish Jews and for the Hungarian Jews. You're a Moroccan Jew or you're a Russian Jew, it doesn't make a difference. You find your home here and your food's on your Shabbat table. So I think the miracle happening here in Dukley Gardens to make this Jewish oasis here, make this Jewish island and have the highest level of 5-star beachfront location with beautiful weather, with kosher food, with social Jewish life, Shabbat holiday, and I think it makes this location perfect.
Where can people who are coming to stay at the Dukley Hotel and in Budva get in contact with you to find out about Shabbat meals, to find out about the restaurant, to find out about what's going on here?
We have a website, we have a WhatsApp group, we have in the Facebook. They find us in every way. The website is Chabad Montenegro.
Hello, my name is Maria Sivakova and I'm sales representative of Dukley Hotel and Resort.
Hello, my name is Marko Stojanovic and I'm front office manager of Harmonia Hotel by Dukley.
Maria, tell us when the hotel was opened and what is here.
Our wonderful hotel was opened in 2016 and it was for at first only accommodation in villas, in residences. We have accommodation in residences 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom residences. And in 2019 we have opened 2 additional hotels, Infinity Hotel by Dukley and Harmonia Hotel by Dukley. Infinity is also 5-star accommodation and Harmonia is our 4-star accommodation.
Is this hotels, resort aimed at adults, families, singles, groups, maybe conventions?
We can cover all markets. We are absolutely welcome for individual travelers, for groups, for some specific events, and for honeymoon travelers, for families with kids, and for individual like single travelers. And we have facilities for each categories. In our resort, we have 3 beaches, all of these beaches with different conceptions. For example, we have our modern Sumo-san beach. It's a Japanese cuisine with adults only part of sunbeds. And we have 2 additional beaches in our resort. It's suitable for all families, for all group of travelers. Like we call it Laguna and we call it Dukley Seafront.
It's May, I'm deciding to go on holiday. I've got the whole world at my feet. Why would I come to Montenegro?
Because Montenegro is a beautiful Balkan country with mountains, with wonderful Adriatic Sea, with historical towns, and its country has 3,000 kilometers of clean Adriatic coastline. And it's a wonderful place for all your family, for couples. You can combine. We have a north part of Montenegro, and you can, for one visit, enjoy both the sea and the mountains. It's ideal settings for luxury tourism.
Marko, Maria's only been here for 14 years, but you have spent your entire life living in this gorgeous bay. What's it like to grow up in Budva?
It is amazing thing because Montenegro is a unique place where you have on a small distance mountains and you have a sea. So for us who grown up in Budva, we have a sea. We don't have to go on vacations. We have beautiful beaches, and if we want to go somewhere to relax, mountains are just like, let's say, 30 minutes from here by car. So it is an amazing, quiet place. A lot of people are coming, so we are getting to know different cultures. And in the touristic place, you have a lot of opportunities to meet different kind of people, to meet different cultures, and to learn a lot of outside of Budva and Montenegro.
As we were walking around the hotel, Maria began to talk about Shabbat. And I said to Maria, is this something that you knew about before you came to Dukley, or it's something you've had to pick up now? And so she was saying she learned and she had to read a lot. In your case, Marko, front of house, you're dealing with the customers. You're dealing with strange Jewish questions about electricity, about heating food on the Sabbath. Can you carry here? All sorts of crazy things. I'm guessing that you're not Jewish.
Yeah, I'm not.
So How did you pick all of this up? Have you become a rabbi? What's the story?
No. Well, if you are on my position, you are working on reception, you have to know that. And you have to ask the guest what are the rules, because you want to make his stay the best possible he can experience. So every time when we started with the Shabbat kosher things, with the Shalom restaurant, when we open it, when we open the synagogue in our part of the hotel and everything, I was like asking one by one, like rabbi to the guest, okay, what should you do for Shabbat? We cannot use the electricity, we cannot use phones, everything we need, mechanical keys, all right. A lot of guests are coming, so I don't know what they are eating. Are they allowed to enter in the elevator? When I press the button, they have to use the stairs. Then, you have older people who can use the stairs. So I always ask them, is it okay for you if I open the elevator and I press the button so that you can go on the second, third floor so you don't bother with the stairs? I did not know for the sensors, they are not pressing it, just they are passing by and the sensor turns off. I did not know that, so I had to turn off all sensors in the hotel during the Shabbat. And after the Shabbat, bring everything back to normal. Every Shabbat we are doing the same thing. In the hotel rooms we have mini bar. In the mini bar you have stuff like some sweets, snacks, drinks. I don't know if they are allowed to use that. So Rabbi told me, okay, you can go on that website, you can see what we are allowed to use. For example, Coca-Cola is kosher everywhere in the world. Still, sparkling water is kosher everywhere in the world. Then, for example, Raffaello is kosher if you buy it from typically some country, for example, Spain or something like that. So you have to know everything.
So, Rabbi Marco and Maria, it's an increasing trend, I think, that people try and do something special for weddings, bar mitzvahs. They don't just do it in their local synagogue anymore. People go abroad, have small weddings and bar mitzvahs. Is that something you can do at the Dukley?
We will be more than happy to organize some of the Jewish wed or something like that. All that we need is that someone just give us the hints what should be done, what are the rules, to help us a little bit about it, because I guess it's different than normal wedding of other people from other religions. Like, you have different wedding in Muslim religion, in Catholic, of course in Jewish also. So if we have some help how to do it, we will be happy to organize it.
And you'll be able to host a group of people at the Shalom restaurant, and you've got the synagogue.
We have also very beautiful beaches where we can organize those weddings, like Dukley Beach, Sumosan or Laguna.
One of the big times of year when our listeners possibly travel is Passover, where you travel for the whole festival. The area is made even more kosher and special for Passover. Is that something you've done here before?
We've done it this April, from 10th till 20th of April. It was Passover, so the whole complex was full of Jewish people, and it was amazing. Everything was done according to the rules. We had 2 stations for the food. One was here next to the Infinity, and one was at the Shalom restaurant. With the feedback from those guests, everything went so wonderful. It was amazing.
I would like to add that for Passover period, we are hosting more than 100 guests. It was guests from the United States, it was guests from Great British, and it was, of course, guests from the Israel. And we have fully kosher meals and beautiful set dining during our territory.
Marco's really lucky. He lives in the old town. He's got this stunning view, lives within medieval walls. Maria, you've come from Moscow. It's very different, but you've chosen to make this your home for the last 14 years. How does it make you feel?
Montenegro for me, like my lovely place for life. It's absolutely safety. And when you come to Montenegro, you really feel that you are not just a tourist, you are belong this place. And you are absolutely welcome to Montenegro and our hotel.
You also have a surprise and a treat for listeners and readers of the Jerusalem Post.
We have a special promo code. It's Shalom20, which takes you 20% of discounts from our bar daily rates. And booking window for this code is from the 20th of June till the end of September, as well as the stay dates. We are welcoming you with this promo code from 20th of June till 30th of September 2025.
Most important question of all. People want to know more about the hotel. Do you have a website?
Absolutely. We have our website. It's dukleyhotel.com.
As easy as that. Dukley spelt D-U-K-L-E-Y hotel.com. Maria, Marco, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you both and to talk with you.
Discover the future with Inside Israeli Innovation. I'm Eve Young from the Jerusalem Post, bringing you exclusive insights from Israel's top innovators. Each week, we dive into the latest trends in tech, business, and beyond with interviews from the brightest minds in the industry. Whether it's cutting-edge startups or revolutionary tech breakthroughs, Inside Israeli Innovation is your front row seat to the startup nation. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform and stay ahead of the curve. Inside Israeli Innovation, where innovation meets inspiration.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a bit cold.
Well, if we stay out here for another half hour and don't turn into prunes, it'll be lovely and warm. I've turned the heat up ever so slightly.
We're in Suite 10C, is it?
You don't want to give it away. People will come and visit us.
I think we'll be well and truly out. Oh, there's a jet ski just heading out. We are in a suite. It's a sea view suite with 2 bedrooms, I hasten to add.
And a dining room area and a lounge and the most enormous balcony with another dining table, sun loungers and this little baby.
I've got a question to ask. Why did you just stop the jacuzzi?
So I could hear my voice, which is more important than the sound of jets. Do you want jets? Benny and the Jets.
Or Joe, what was she called? Joanne and the Jets?
Joe 90.
No, what was she called? Someone and the Jets.
Oh, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
That's the one, yeah. Aside from all of David's lack of knowledge of 70s rock.
Buttons to press. I'm having fun.
We are in our suite. We have, he's paddling. We have an amazing lounge, a fabulous kitchen. Oh my gosh, it's not a mini bar, it's a maxi bar.
It's basically a fridge, and the freezer even has ice cream in it.
This is somebody who wants to have a good time's dream.
Don't drop the microphone, but if you turn around slightly and peek over the edge of the jacuzzi, you can see Budva, the bay, the mountains, people jet skiing, people on, is it parasailing? It's phenomenal here. I'm going to get my rubber ducky. This is Mark Gordon from the Jerusalem Post Podcast Travel Edition. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at MarkDavidPod or mail us at markdavidpod@gmail.com.
Mark, one of the things that we learnt in journalism school was never record interviews and chat when there's music in the background. Now, I have no idea if people can hear the music in the background or not, but you and I can. In fact, we're hearing it from 2 different sources because there's a live venue below us, and in the restaurant where we are right now, there's some beautiful background music, but it means that you and I have to do this entire segment in one take. So no errors, no problems, got to be perfect.
So you may have gone to journalism school. I went to reform school, and when they released me, I had no skills when it came to journalism. Obviously, that has changed now.
Oh, I don't know about that. So where are we, Mark?
We're still in Budva. We're still in the beautiful Dukley Hotel and Resort, and we're at the seafront restaurant.
And it couldn't be named any better because you could almost, we're on the, first floor, second floor, you could almost jump into the water from where we are.
We started indoors, but the roof was taking off the lovely restaurant. But downstairs, there are tables set on the beach next to the sea.
In fact, there's a couple of influencers who have been dancing with somebody filming them. We've had a drone flying next to them. This is clearly the spot to be and to be seen. And I don't think you've turned round yet and looked. If you look over your left-hand shoulder, you'll see where we're staying. Absolutely stunningly illuminated.
You told me never to move my head from the mic, so I haven't turned around.
That's what we learnt in journalism school.
I'm looking at Budva. I'm looking at the nightlife there. I can see the Ferris wheel or big wheel illuminated beautifully over there. All sorts of patterns, and it's just really stunning. Of all the places to sit for dinner, in the 4.5 years we've been doing it, this is one of the most beautiful.
The food here is excellent. Lots of choices of fish, some vegetarian options. The drinks menu is extensive and can be expensive.
I would have started with expensive. there were things with 4 zeros at the end of them.
And we're not talking shekels.
No, we're talking euros. There are glasses of whiskey and brandy for over, was it 800, 900 euros?
There were a couple that were that sort of price.
Bottles of wine going into the tens of thousands of euros.
If you're looking for a cut price vacation, this is not it, even though we do have our special offer of Shalom 20 if you sign up to vacate in the Dukley before September 30th of 2025. But this is not somewhere that you're going to find anything other than top quality.
No, this is a luxury resort. You come here because you want luxury, or you're having a special occasion, or, as we mentioned earlier, the fact that there's a Jewish community centre on site and kosher food in that restaurant, the Shalom restaurant. This isn't a kosher restaurant, but you've been able to eat vegetarian. I've been able to eat fish that is a kosher variety. Mm-hmm. It's a great evening out here.
The next time you're going to hear from us is actually going to be in a couple of days, because over the next 24 hours, we're going to be heading into Budva and into the countryside. And you'll have to hear our other podcast from the Budva area to get all of that. So the next time you hear from us will be just after Shabbat. So I guess from here we say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Unless we have a bit more wine this evening, and we may take you on a guided tour of the apartment again, out of the jacuzzi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Umevorach.
Budva Fact File. The closest airport to Budva is Tivat Airport. Apart from regular flights from Belgrade and Istanbul, most of the traffic is seasonal. There are flights from Tel Aviv with Arkia, Israel and Sundor. There are also seasonal flights from many European cities, including Vienna, Berlin, London, Manchester, Paris and Barcelona. Podgorica Airport in Montenegro's capital has year-round flights from Zurich, Rome, Vienna, London Stansted and Milan. There are even direct flights from Newark to Dubrovnik Airport, which is around 2 hours from Budva. Budva is around a 30-minute drive from Tivat Airport. The bus from Tivat to Budva, Autobuska Stanica, takes a similar time and departs hourly. You can also reach Budva from the Dukley Resort by way of water taxi. We stayed at the Dukley Hotel and Resort. Dukley is a 5-star luxury family resort in Budva, Montenegro, with 3 private beaches, 6 restaurants, 3 hotels and a spa centre. Listeners of this podcast can get a 20% discount through to the end of September 2025 by booking on the Dukley website and using the code SHALOM20. The currency in Montenegro is the euro. $100 will buy you 88 euros as of June 2025. Budva has an Adriatic climate with mild rainy winters and hot sunny summers. Average temperatures in January are around 8 degrees Celsius, 46 degrees Fahrenheit, while in July it is around 28 degrees Celsius, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Fish is the dish of choice on the Adriatic coast, with influences of Italy and Turkey. Seafood risottos, fish soups and stews abound, as well as spinach borek and excellent cheeses. The Shalom Kosher restaurant at the Dukley Hotel Chabad Center offers 5-star breakfast, lunches and dinners. Shabbat meals can be booked through Chabad of Montenegro.
Shavua Tov.
good week to you, my friend.
Well, that was a very restful Shabbat.
Yeah, do you know, I'm so tired from all the resting.
It was a very nice opportunity to do nothing. So let's go back to Friday night. And as I said to both the rabbi and his wife, it's such a shame that we couldn't take a microphone into the synagogue, the Chabad synagogue, Orthodox. Doesn't happen.
And you could see he was thinking about it because he's a very modern rabbi. But yeah, no.
Well, it's a marketing opportunity, isn't it? The point is, in order to show somebody who hasn't been or maybe doesn't want to go to a happening Friday night, whether it's Chabad style or Carlebach style or any other, people need to experience it. And because Orthodoxy doesn't permit that to happen, it doesn't get the marketing that it deserves. Does that make sense?
No.
Thank you very much indeed. You're a very supportive colleague.
I try. I repeat myself a lot, and one of the
It's
things...
very unpleasant.
I said I repeat myself a lot. One of the things that has driven me personally over the last 4.5, 5 years is someone telling me that there is no Jewish life outside of Israel. And when I went to the synagogue with David last night, we were like, we hope there's more than 10 people because we would like a lie-in on Saturday morning.
I should say, for those of you who don't know, 10 is the quorum in order for there to be a full, proper prayer service.
And as we arrived last night, there were 10, 11 people. I thought, this is nice. Within the next 15 minutes, another 30, 35 people turned up.
Just men?
People, yes, men.
There were women in the women's area.
So we were sitting in the synagogue. So in the men's section, just men turned up. Another 35 men. And I thought, there's my Saturday morning lie-in sorted. But it was just amazing how many people came in. And then we had Friday night dinner in the Shalom restaurant, kind of Chabad style, 2 long tables, a chance to meet people from other places, although most of the people around us were from Israel. But there were people...
and there is Jewish life outside of Israel, but they're all Israelis.
But no, there were people there from Manhattan, people there from England.
Locals too,
yes.
People from Budva. We were told by the Chabad rabbi that he'd actually found a couple of local Jews who didn't know they were Jewish and so on. And last night, for one of them, it was his first time sampling a traditional Orthodox Jewish Friday night.
It was lovely. The food was really, really good. And it's sometimes very difficult on Shabbat to mass cater. But the chicken, the beef was lovely. The fish was exquisite. It was a really lovely meal in a lovely atmosphere.
Jewish atmosphere, noisy atmosphere.
It was a Shabbos atmosphere. Yeah. And
nice songs.
David and I have done this a few times. We've eaten with Chabad on Shabbat. But it was just so surprising how many people were there and how lively it was. And it just inspires me to travel more and see more of the Jewish community around the world.
Something else I discovered here at Dukley is there is an Eruv, which makes sense given that the synagogue and the kosher restaurant are within the compound. I walked up towards reception. By the way, the walkways, the pathways here are stunningly landscaped, beautiful and spotlessly clean.
An Eruv, for those that don't know, is a border around a property or an area that essentially allows you to carry.
So I was walking up towards reception and there was this string to my left and you sort of overlooking the sea, and I suddenly noticed while I'm looking at the sea there was a string, and I'm thinking, what is that? Is that like an electrified fence, or something to stop cows coming in from the cliffs below or whatever? And then it dawned on me it was the Eruv. If you are a Jewish observant, Shabbat observant, kosher observant traveller, this is an amazing destination with stunning views. The staff, I think for me, I always say to you, it's the people that make a place. The staff are so warm, so friendly. The people in concierge, when they're not dealing with the clientele, you just watch them. They're smiling, they're telling stories to each other. It's just a really happy place.
To me, the whole thing about this hotel and this area is just the beauty. It's a chance to take in Shabbat and look around you and take in the wonderful world that there is.
We're about to sign off from this podcast, and we're doing it sitting in the lounge in our Seaview suite, and to look out of the window and see the restaurant below floodlit, hearing the music in the distance from the in-house singer, and the lights shimmering on Budva Bay, and knowing that behind them, now the sun has set and the moon is up, vertiginous mountainsides. What a great place to stay.
Should we do a few thanks?
you'll have to be the one who does it because you remember the names.
I think I'm going to start with a thank you to the person who made all of this possible, and that is Neil Emil Farb, the builder, founder of Dukley, and the person who's put a lot of money into turning this into not only a beautiful resort for all of the customers, but thinking about Jewish travelers and making it somewhere where they can go and keep Shabbat and keep religious Judaism alive while having a stunning luxury holiday. And to the PR people that have helped set this up. And while we're thanking the wonderful people at the Dukley Hotel, they have a special offer for you, the listener. A 20% discount if you book through their website and use the discount code SHALOM20. That offer is valid until the end of September 2025. To Chabad of Montenegro, thank you again. It's been wonderful. We felt very much at home here.
Thank you for remembering all of the thank yous as usual. And now it's time for you to do something. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please share it with your friends. I'm not going to give you all of the other things you can do this time. Just hit the share button, the forward button, tell your friends all about it. We want as many people to enjoy this as possible. Obviously that helps Mark and me, but at the end of the day, when we come to places like this, especially given that this is the Jerusalem Post and that we're trying to find places that are encouraging the spread of Jewish life, of enjoyment, of kosher, of Shabbat observance all around the world, you are helping us to spread that message just by simply hitting the forward button.
Time for the quiz question. We asked which infamous rabbi died in the Montenegrin city of Ulcinj, or Ulcinj, depending on how you pronounce it. We will be going further out into Montenegro in a future podcast. So, which rabbi died in Ulcinj?
Should I say the answer?
Well, you can guess, pretend that you don't know.
Okay. Is it the famous Messianic rabbi Jacob Frank?
You're close.
Is it the famous non-Messianic rabbi Jacob Frank? Less close.
Less close. It is, of course, Shabtai Tzvi.
Who was a Messianic rabbi.
And infamous.
Infamous. And in fact, we talked about him, I believe, in our podcast in Salonika, in Thessaloniki.
We did indeed, and all about the Donmei.
These were people who were Jewish, who followed Shabtai Tzvi, and then Shabtai Tzvi headed off into the world of Islam, where he also wasn't really accepted. And all of the Donmei people were kind of stuck between being Jewish and being Muslim. Anyway, it's a fascinating story. Go and listen to our Salonika Thessaloniki podcast, also with a great Jewish story.
I think that's really it. I think we should head back into the jacuzzi and finish off with a nice view of the floodlit bay.
How do they say goodbye in Montenegrin?
I have no idea. I've been too busy relaxing to actually learn anything.
Take care, folks. Until the next time.
Bye-bye.